Before he waged war on Black Panther and Wakanda, Erik Killmonger made his mark on the New York underworld. What'll happen next? Well, let's hop into the pages of Killmonger issue number 2 and find out for ourselves. Alrighty then, so as we join the comic, we check on in with Erik not long after joining up with a group of chess-themed hatchet men working under the Kingpin. They just got their newest mission from Wilson Fisk, and this job could make or break their career, but it's gonna be tricky. They got no less than 4 targets they have to take out, and they only have a very small window to do so, and they're gonna have to kill all 4 people at once, because if they don't, anyone who's left alive is gonna run to ground and be impossible to find again. It's Erik using that big smart MIT brain who says that perhaps they're overthinking the problem, and the trick is not to go to the targets, but to have the targets come to them. This sort of creative thinking and initiative earns him the respect of King, the group's leader, who takes up almost a kind of father figure role to young Erik. Of course, the man who would be Killmonger is only working at this gig in hopes that one day it will afford him the chance to kill Ulysses Klaw, the man who ruined his life. This single-minded rage makes him a liability for any team, and it's in this issue we actually learn a little bit more about just how personal his grudge with Klaw is. Not only did Ulysses kill young Erik's father, but we actually discover that he kind of puppeteered his entire life for a little bit. In fact, the only reason Erik Killmonger is called Erik is because Ulysses Klaw gave him that name. All in an attempt to try and kill and bury any residual Wakandan pride that might have still been in the young boy. Now, the hit itself goes off more or less without a hitch, and hey, wouldn't you know it, these chess-themed assassins just so happen to wear costumes that look not unlike the costume Michael B. Jordan wore in the Black Panther movie, go figure. Of course, they were also kind of playing this mission with the cheats turned on. You see, Rook actually has the metahuman power of a healing factor, and because of that, they literally use him as a human shield. Jeez, could you imagine if that was your role on a team? Does that mean they like you, or does that mean they hate you? King hopes that taking out this many of Wilson Fisk's competitors will finally allow him to reach that next level working for the Kingpin, stop all this Penny Annie gangland stuff, and finally get promoted to the much more lucrative supervillain sphere of henchmaning. And indeed, the Kingpin has to admit they did good work, but Wilson is also fully aware that they let Erik live even after the Kingpin ordered his death. And so with that, our characters find themselves in a hell of a predicament. Wilson Fisk says that he's more than happy to bring on these chessboard guys to be his new #1 guys. But to get the gig, they're going to have to take out his old #1 guy, which just so happens to be Bullseye, one of the most feared and deadly assassins in all of Marvel Comics. King essentially views this as a death sentence and is ready to cut and run completely. Erik, though, is blissfully unaware. He knows very little about superheroes or indeed supervillains or how scared he should be when Bullseye shows up out of the blue to silence his potential competition as the comic comes to a close. So that was Killmonger issue number 2, everybody, and I continue to enjoy what Brian Edward Hill is laying down here. It's a slick, to the point, low-key little crime noir story helped out immensely by Juan Ferreira's kick-ass artwork. We also continue to pull back the layers on the new retcons for Killmonger's origin. They also seem to be playing with this fun idea about the loss of identity. Erik lost his connection to Wakanda, his history, his family, and because of that, he's just kind of trying to invent a new one. Overall, I think I'd feel comfortable giving this one a 7.5 out of 10, a good read. Hey there everyone, it's your old pal Cape Joel again. I want to thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, why not take a look at some of these other videos I have available from the channel. Then you can follow me on Twitter and Facebook at Cape Joel, so you're always up to date on what I'm doing next. And hey, if you're in the market for some cheap comic books, might I recommend Book Depository? They're my favorite place to get cheap comic book trades, and if you use my link down in the description, not only will you save a bundle by not having to pay a cent for shipping, but everything you do buy goes to support me in the channel. So you win, I win, everybody wins, right? And until next time everyone, this has been Cape Joel, and I'm going to continue making comic book videos that smack of greatness. Bye-bye.